Kate's Kitchen. I went to the farmer's market this morning to get some local organic vegetables, and I got okra. It's right in season right now. I also got some onions and a few other things, and I decided to make a seafood gumbo. But not your regular high-fat, high-calorie gumbo that you get down south. I've made this a food lover friendly seafood gumbo that anybody can enjoy. It's good for your heart and it's gonna taste great. So come on in and let's get started. Normally with a roux, you add flour together with either butter or oil, and you heat it up very slowly and you let it cook down until it becomes this nice brown, almost the same color as a beer bottle brown. And that adds a lot of fat. So for our gumbo, to make it lower in fat but still get that nice deep color and also the flavor, the toastiness of the flour, I'm going to use a trick that Emerald taught me. I Googled his recipe for low-fat gumbo and found that what he did was at 400-degree temperature, he baked his flour. So we're just taking 3/4 of a cup of unbleached all-purpose flour, and I'm just spreading it onto this cookie sheet. We're going to bake this at 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes, and every now and again I'll give it a stir so that it doesn't burn. So now, while I'm waiting for the flour to toast up, I'm going to do my mise en place, which is to cut up all of my vegetables, get those ready to go in the gumbo. The base of a good gumbo starts off with 2 either white or yellow onions, medium dice. We know that we have to have some celery, and again I'm just going to give that a medium dice. I use about 5 of the small stalks. You could use 2 large stalks. Really depends on how much celery you like. I've got some fresh jalapeno from my garden. I'm going to leave a little bit of the seeds in, but I took the veins out and most of the seeds out so that that's where the heat is. And a green bell pepper, 1 full, medium size. Nice medium dice. I'm going to use a whole head of garlic, and I like the smash technique. Hold the side of the blade on top of the garlic and just use the heel of your hand to push down. It helps take out a little frustration. That's what I love about cooking. You can relax so much, just pound away and then it'll peel the skin right off. But the nice thing about this recipe is you can use however much garlic you like. If you only want 2 or 3 cloves, go for it. But I like to kick it up. I like the garlic. You just chop this garlic up, give it a fine mince or a rough chop. It really depends on how you like your flavor of your garlic. Here I've got 2 tablespoons of the grapeseed oil and 2 tablespoons of the Smart Balance buttery spread. I'm just adding all of my vegetables, which is the 2 medium onions, the 1 green bell pepper, the 3 jalapenos, all the garlic, the celery, all right in there. We're just going to saute that for about 10 minutes until it gets soft. After I let these cook down just a little bit, I'm just going to add some black pepper. I'm not going to add salt at this point because a lot of our ingredients are going to have salt in them later. While those vegetables are simmering, I'm just preparing the okra. Just cut off the heads and cut them in half. That's about a pint of okra. This is what our flour looks like when it came out of the oven after it took 30 minutes. And it's a nice brown. That's going to make it look just like it would if we did it as a roux, but less butter and less fat. This is a pound of medium-sized shrimp that's been peeled and deveined. It's going to be the last thing that I add, but I want to sprinkle with Creole seasoning and just let it sit and kind of marinate in that. The Creole seasoning has paprika, it's got some salt, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, and so having these shrimp just sit here and marinate while the rest of the vegetables of the gumbo are reducing, that's going to make some nice flavor when we add that in at the last minute. Those vegetables look good. They've softened up. They're brown but not too brown, and they're not caramelized. It's good and soft. Now I'm going to add a can of organic whole tomatoes, and as I add them, I'm just going to break the tomatoes up with my fingers. You don't have to get them super small, but add the sauce and everything that's in there. We're still on medium heat here. Oh, it smells so good. And we're just going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes like that. The nice thing about this recipe, you can use pretty much anything you want. I'm using wild snapper and wild grouper. They were a decent price at my fish market today. I'm going to cut them up into chunks, about 3/4 inch cubes, bite-sized pieces, and just set them on this plate. You can use crab meat if you want to. I've got shrimp for the end of the gumbo, but I wanted some good hearty fish. You can use cod for your white fish. You can use mahi-mahi if you want. Pretty much whatever is in season in your area, readily available, so that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg, but you want something good and healthy. I buy wild fish because if it's true that you are what you eat, then it only makes sense that your food is what your food eats. And wild fish eating in their natural habitat, in my opinion, is better than farm-raised fish that's been given whatever chemicals and whatever food that the people that are raising it see fit. And I don't know that I trust that. This is some freshly chopped thyme straight from my garden. And the fish, I'm going to do the same thing, just sprinkle a little bit of the Creole seasoning and some cayenne pepper. The Creole seasoning does have salt in it, so I don't need to put any additional salt on there. And now that fish is ready to go. Now that the moisture from the tomato has evaporated a little bit and absorbed into the onion, I'm going to sprinkle our flour into our vegetable mixture. Give it a good stir. We still have a little bit of the oil in there, and we're just going to let that cook for about 2 minutes like that. That's nice and thick. Now I'm going to add 2 bottles of clam juice, and I like the Bar Harbor clam juice because it's pure natural, 1 ingredient, fresh clam juice. 2 bottles, each 8 fluid ounces. Give it a good stir. Look how nice, that's a beautiful color. It looks like I've been slaving away over this gumbo, and that's going to be beautiful. And then I'm going to add 32 ounces of my low sodium chicken broth. We're going to turn the heat up to high and bring that up to a boil. As that's coming up to a boil, I'm going to add my okra. Add the thyme. That's about 2 tablespoons. We're going to take the juice from 1 lemon. Make sure not to get any seeds in there. Nothing better than fresh lemon juice. And then we're going to add my grouper and my snapper, and that was 3/4 pound of each. They've been seasoned with the Creole seasoning and a little bit of cayenne pepper. Remember that the Creole seasoning has plenty of salt in it. Give that a stir, and as soon as that comes back up to a boil, I'm going to cover it and simmer this for about 15 minutes. Let that get thick. I've chopped up a 1/4 cup of fresh parsley and a bunch of fresh green onion, and that will be something that we add to the gumbo with the shrimp in the last 3 minutes of cooking. That's been simmering covered for 15 minutes. I'm going to add my green onion and my parsley. And my pound of shrimp that's been just marinating in that Creole seasoning. We're just going to let that go for about 3 minutes until those shrimp become pink, and that'll be perfect and it'll be done. Now that the gumbo is finished, in order to make this a food lover's solo, I've added 1/2 cup of brown rice mixture to the bottom of my bowl, and I'm going to get me scoop in some of that nice seafood gumbo with all those vegetables. Oh, look at that. That looks good right there. That will make a really tasty meal right there. And now is my favorite time. It's time to eat. I have lost 31 pounds working, doing it this way, using fresh vegetables and less fat. This gumbo recipe fits right in. I'm gonna see if I like it. I'm gonna keep this. This would be great with, this is a seafood gumbo, but it would be great with chicken, or if you wanted to use a sausage, it's gonna be a little higher in fat, but you might wanna add a little bit of andouille sausage if you wanted to. But this is good just the way it is. The okra is a little bit crunchy. The vegetables are nice and soft. You got the tomato and the peppers. It is as good as any gumbo that I've ever had. And I know I'm originally from the north, but I know Southern cooking. So take my word for it, you're gonna have to try this. I really enjoyed cooking that seafood gumbo. It is so versatile. You could switch it up and have chicken if you wanted to instead, but it is so hearty and you're not lacking for any flavor just because we made it low in fat. If you treat your food like fuel, then you will eat to live instead of living to eat. My name's Kate. I'll see you again next time.